This kid is a genius. The movie began when the general sent forces to take down a rocket ship spotted in the atmosphere. The army was surprised when they found out that a kid named Jimmy, his friend, and his dog were on the rocket ship. After leaving the Earth, his rocket ship had issues which made him have a great thought for solution. He then used a soda from Carl lunchbox to act as support to launch his handmade satellite, which is a toaster, to contact advanced aliens in space and crashed on his roof. His mom then confronts him while he explained he received a message from the ionosphere. He then rushed into his room. With the aid of his invented gadgets, his life became very easy, but wasn't time conscious as he missed his bus. He then used his bubble invention to bounce all the way to school, but crashes in a tree. He spotted Carl and helped him get down. They both ran hurriedly to school. In school, they had a show and tell activity going on in class before Nick badged in, which impressed the ladies. It got to Jimmy's turn. He introduced a shrink ray to them, but it didn't work. Meanwhile, the class was already over. As his teacher was packing, his device shrunk her, but he never knew. On a walk with his friends, Sheen grabbed a poster which they all have reasons for going there. Sheen wants to see Ultralord, Carl wants to see the zoo while Jimmy wants to go on a scary ride. But they knew their parents won't allow them. Nick then showed up and persuaded them to sneak out. Jimmy then returned home and prepared gifts for his mom. He then gifted the gifts to her to grant his request, but she refused. Fortunately for Jimmy, his toaster satellite worked. The aliens spotted the toast and brought it to their king. The king's brother, Oobler, tried communicating with it, then hits it which made it connect to Jimmy. Jimmy, who was warned never to speak to strangers, ignorantly introduced his family to the aliens. The king, having seen the picture of his parents, got excited. Stay tuned to know. However, Goddard, his dog, gave him an option to sneak out, which he complied. He then used his shrinking device to shrink himself and walked to his living room. Unfortunately, the device fell close to his dad but didn't notice. He then went to get the device. His dad unconsciously kicked him outside, making his work easier. The three boys met themselves there and had fun together. Meanwhile, the aliens Jimmy greeted were on their way to invade Earth. As they reached, they kidnapped his parents along with other parents and left a note. In line of walking, they saw a wishing star and wished their parents are all gone. Coincidentally, it came true. In the morning, they all realized their parents were gone and enjoyed the moment. It got to a moment when they felt uncomfortable without their parents and blames Jimmy for making that kind of wish. The kids then gave him a chance to fix everything. Preparing to go to space, they built rockets that helped them get to space. As they arrived, they saw their parents on some mind controller. Jimmy spotted his dad and tried to call him, but he alerted the guards. They brought them to the king. The king then appreciates Jimmy for contacting them, which made everyone to be angrier at Jimmy. As they were prisoned, everyone despised Jimmy except his worst enemy at school, Cindy, who encouraged him not to give up at this point. It then dawns on him he could use Libby's phone to contact his robot dog. Meanwhile, Oobler was about to disseminate the robot dog, but Jimmy scared him off. Goddard then rushed to rescue Jimmy and his friends. However, they got to the festival on time. All the festival was about was to feed the almighty Poltra with humans to please him. Jimmy then had a massive idea to free their parents. He then instructed Sheen to get the big ship while others distracts the alien bird. Jimmy then grabbed the controller from the king's hands and put the parents to safety. As they were about to go, Poltra blocked their way, but Sheen from behind used the ship to knock Poltra down and took off, but the aliens followed. The king then made fun of Jimmy's size, which made him angry. He then went to face the king all alone. He used his shrinking device to make himself big and blew the aliens back to their planet. Back to the ship, they all were very happy to see their parents, while Jimmy learned his lesson never to talk to strangers ever again. Hope it caught your attention. Like and subscribe for more on this channel. Thanks for watching.